Some people think Chelsea could compete for the title.
Yeah.
But that's non-Chelsea fans. Actual Chelsea fans are like, no, the squad's still young. As long as we can get to say maybe third, then I'm cool. Because let's be honest.
But what is Roman thinking when he's splashing out all this cash? Surely he's thinking title, right?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was thinking.
Roman's thinking title. Roman ain't thinking third. Roman's thinking title.
Yeah. But Leeds, like, no disrespect, I know that Sky Sports keep pushing Leeds. Leeds are a championship team. They've been in a championship for the last 19, 20 years. They're like
16,
Daniel
16,
James.
don't do them like that.
16, 17, round it up, innit? It's not really like so Daniel James at Leeds makes a lot of sense, but he's not top 6, top 4 caliber at all.
Yeah.
Would you take him back?
Yeah, man. I was thinking this yesterday. I was thinking this, like, we're looking for a right winger. Yeah. And obviously everything is on Sancho at the moment, but Zaha personally would be as effective in the, like, Zaha is, when we got him before, he wasn't quite ready, and there's all the other talks of, you know, David Moyes' daughter. And,
Ollie ain't got no daughters, is he?
Nah.
You see how everyone hotted man up though? Oh my God.
Yeah. Sense smart because you allowed yourself to be wrong by backing it and putting him in your fantasy team. So you're sitting there.
It's a win-win, isn't it?
It's a win-win. It's a win-win.
Yeah,
Man's sitting there. If he doesn't do job, he'll be like, I told you so. When he does, he's sitting there. It's like, I told you. He's in my team. I was fooling y'all.
Oh, man. Why are you going to do me like that, Double D, man? You're baiting me up, man. You're baiting me up out here, man. What's happening, people? Welcome. This is Everyone's a Pundit. This is episode 45. And I am pleased and happy to have two new faces in the View studio today. We have Ash. Introduce yourself, please.
Yes, Ash, Arsenal fan. That's it, bruv. Let's go.
Some of you would know him if you've been a follower of Views from the beginning. You would have known him from Views from Booze. You will know him. So yeah, man, happy to have you on, Ash. Thank you very much for coming through.
Cool,
and we also have Mr. Double D. Dan, introduce yourself, please.
Thank you very much, Leon. It's Double D from representing the D&D Footy Factory. You know, here, Leon asked me to come on. I said it would be my pleasure. So thank you very much for having me. You get me?
Yeah, no, big up and blessed for coming through. And definitely going to give everybody a chance to plug their socials at the end. And also in the description, people, you know how it is. We will have their tags. So please click and please follow. But you lot know who Pat is already. Introduce yourself, please.
Yes, what's happening? It's Patrick Tyrant, a.k.a. Young Swaggy Daniels. When you see the T, you see the P. When you see the T, you know, it represents T.
Yeah, let go.
Let go.
Wicked, man. And look, if you haven't followed us or subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. If you are listening on the audio, share about with your people. We're gonna have a good show today, man. We've been in the pre-room. We've been discussing FPL, boy, just catching some jokes.
Energy.
Trust me, man. And you know what? The Premier League's been crazy at the moment, people. Like I just saw. I think Gary said 39 goals in 8 games. It's just raining goals at the moment.
Mad.
This weekend's results, you had Chelsea lose 2-0 at home to Liverpool. Man United lost 3-1 at home to Crystal Palace. Tottenham beat Southampton 5-2 away. Arsenal beat West Ham 2-1 at home. Leeds 4-3 at home to Fulham. That was a blockbuster. That was an entertaining game. Everton 5-2 at home to West Brom. Newcastle lost 3-0 at home to Brighton. And then Leicester, what did that finish, boys? That was 4-2, wasn't it? 4-2. Yeah. So it's a bare goals, man, bare goals. But you know where I want to start? We're going to start with the Chelsea and Liverpool game. Because boy, that was the biggest game of the weekend. So we have to bring it there. And it was an interesting one. Double D, talk to us about Liverpool performance. Obviously, Christensen got sent off, but did that really make a difference? One of my guys, a Liverpool fan, said it was men against boys anyway. What's your take on it?
To be perfectly honest, I was shook about this game, because obviously last week against Leeds, the line was so high, and then obviously mistakes were made as well. So I thought if we make that mistake against the likes of the Havertz and Werners in this world, we could get put to the sword. But the game shaped differently than I thought it was going to, because we had much more of the ball in the first half than I thought. Yeah. But they looked dangerous on the counter. But I must say, Fabinho was outstanding today, because I think he's our best centre mid. Well, now Thiago's come, so he is. But before Thiago come, I think Fabinho's our best centre mid. So playing him at the back, because Matip and Gomez, these injury-prone guys, were both out, I was shook. And I was getting peppered. People messaging me saying, yeah, I got Werner in my team. You're not going to hold free Fabinho at centre-back. But he, apart from one time, and I think it was called offside anyway, he let him attack the space and then he moved, because if he committed, he would have just gone past him and scored. And I thought, I liked the way he's playing, and we had some decent passing moves. And but then when the sending off happened, which to be honest, I think it could have gone either way. I see why he was sent off, but because Kepa came out, if it wasn't a sending off, then I would have understood why it wasn't given. But then you see once Thiago came on, this is the thing, he brings a completely different dimension to the midfield, because we all know Klopp and like the base of the whole heavy metal football and that, and we go for energy in the midfield. So it's kind of that over substance over like in terms of like a polished type of play sometimes in the midfield, and sometimes we even bypass the midfield and the front three have to work really hard for their goals. But when Thiago came on, he was just controlling the play left to right, and all the players were looking for him. It was like their saviour had come on the football pitch. And then I was talking it up anyway, but then I saw Opta put a stat out saying that since it's been recorded, Thiago had the most amount of completed passes in 45 minutes of football since Opta started recording. Mad. Everyone's giving the ball, rolling, pass the ball forward, get it back, smooth it like a Rolls Royce. And this is his debut. Normally, it takes a man that have played in Germany, Spain, or whatever a bit of time to acclimatise to the team. Obviously, it was against 10 men, but still, Chelsea showed one or two times when they got through people on the penalty that they could get in. So I was proud of the guys. It was nice to watch a game where I'm not screaming at the TV. I was just sitting there and just composed at what they were doing. So it was nice to see, man. It was nice to see.
Wicked. Ash, what was your take? Do you agree with what Double D was saying?
I think they was in control. Yeah, they was in control even before the 10 men. And yeah, Thiago coming, fitted in well, man. Like, I've always thought that you could get away with having like two, like you say, like engine man in the centre, and then have Thiago in there just like created. Yeah, man, I think it's looking good for Liverpool, man, sadly.
What about And you know what? Let me head over to Pat first before I chime in. Pat, what was your take on it? Did you see the game?
Yeah, I saw the game. It was men against boys. It's a difficult one, because I know Thiago looked amazing, but Chelsea were just dead. Like, there was no, even with 10 men, I've seen performances with guys with 10 men and they look more at it. Chelsea just thought, you know what, we've lost this game. They were walking at, like, Liverpool
contain job, wasn't it?
Yeah, they were just, Liverpool were cruising. It's like, here, take the ball, take it back, here, take, you know what I mean? Thiago, most of those passes were like 2 meters, like 2 yards. So it's
just
like,
going for the record,
like,
bro.
Yeah, it's like this. It's like he knew he probably Klopp was probably 2 more passes.
Yeah, you got a
record. Seriously, and you know there's no fans in the stadium. You hear it every time. You hear,
course.
1 more pass, Thiago.
You could have whispered it.
You know what I mean? Like, I can't take that seriously, man. Chelsea were awful. It was dead. Dead.
You know the ones in basketball when man's like a rebound away from a triple double.
Exactly, and just throw out the ball.
Get that. Box out and that.
Yeah, respect to Liverpool, but honestly, Chelsea were just it was just like, man, you know, we've lost this game. Let's just not get pumped. And they just you know what I mean? They weren't trying. I know Werner got in once or twice. Tammy had a breakaway. Well, saying that, Thiago gave away a penalty, which was very clumsy. But even that could have went either way. Because when I watched it back, the more I watched, I was like, I'm not sure about this.
He didn't actually.
It's just one of those clip actions.
Yeah. Because he took a while to go down as well, innit? He didn't go down straight away. But yeah, Liverpool, were definitely worth the 3 points. Chelsea.
What do you think of Havertz? Do you reckon he's gonna blend in straight away?
Nah,
I think he's going to take time.
Yeah, he's going to take time. He's going to take time, man. I think he's a quality player.
I think Werner will straight away be on it.
Yeah.
I don't think Frank actually knows what to do with Havertz because obviously he's attacking mid by nature, but he played. They had some injuries up front. What's that guy called? Volland was injured and they played Havertz as a false nine. And he's so tall, he was scoring headers. So I don't think Frank knows because if you look at that team, unless they get width, same with against Brighton, unless they get width from Alonso or Reece James, it's all going to come through the centre, which makes them easier to defend against. So I don't know. He's talking his usual fire in the interview after, was talking about how if Kepa doesn't make the mistake and they get the penalty, it's 1-1 and they didn't deserve to lose and whatnot.
Listen, Liverpool could have scored 3 or 4 whenever they,
they wanted.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, you know what, we've got the win. Let's just chill out. We've got a lot of games coming up. It wasn't really like Liverpool under any pressure to do you know what I mean? I don't see that. I do think that Chelsea have got a problem with the fact that they've got so many quality players. Yeah. What formation does he put them in? Who starts? Who drops out? Yeah. It's going to be one of the ones where someone has half a decent game, they might drop, and it's like it's going to be hard for Frank, man. But he's got big pressure on him now because he has to deliver.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think he's under pressure because you don't spend all of that money. And we know how Roman moves anyway. Let's not go on like we don't know how my man moves. He demands, you get me? And if you ain't cutting the mustard, boy, he don't pat. You're gone. Do you know what I'm saying? So
I don't care if you're a club legend. I don't
bigger names than Frank have got the chop, boy. Bigger names than Frank.
And like a fool, I actually thought that Chelsea would win today. So I don't know if it's a mixture of my hate for Liverpool or or me just proper thinking that all of these stars are gonna make Chelsea great. I don't know what it is because at the moment, I'm sitting here thinking, you know what, I probably need to put a little bit more respect on Liverpool's name because you lot from the get-go, you was just controlling the game. Even when it was 11 versus 11, Liverpool were controlling the game. You lot had so much possession. Yeah. And I didn't expect that. And even when Werner got through, he didn't look like he was going to beat Fabinho. Like, he didn't have...
It looked like he was thinking about it. We've seen Germany do that. Go run, shoot, and then bang it in.
Different kettle now.
Somebody could play there, Fabinho. Do you think Fabinho could play centre half? They looked decent together.
We've used him there before against Bayern, and he did a good job on Lewandowski. But apart from that, I didn't want him playing there. But he reads the game so well. And you saw last week against Leeds. Yeah, ball players up, but you saw last week against Leeds because he wasn't present in the midfield. They were just having us up. We couldn't get the ball. I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, am I really watching a promoted team come and pass the ball around us at Anfield? I'm like, what's going on? Like, we're letting Calvin Phillips look like Pirlo, bro.
I know, Calvin Phillips was doing bits last week, bro. Calvin Phillips.
What are you saying, though, Double D? You reckon you lot are going to hold on to this title thing? Because I'll be honest, at the beginning of the season, I didn't think so. But now with the introduction of Thiago and Jota, for me, you've added quality to a squad which needed some additions, but you've now gone and added that. So I
still think we need a centre half. I still think we need.
But then if you can throw Fabinho back there now,
because now Thiago is going to take that spot in the centre.
Yeah.
And you'd like to think he's going to start every week. And Hendo, captain.
That's what I want. Just orchestrating the thing because it's so frustrating. We've got Liverpool fans among them, even though obviously one of them is foreign. If Fabinho, Hendo, and Milner start, or Gini, whatever they call it, the Brexit midfield, isn't it? So even though it's a foreign man, because the whole point of that midfield is to give the energy protect, but sometimes they don't properly protect the back four, and then there's not enough creativity in them going forward. But Thiago might be able to allow Wijnaldum to be Holland Wijnaldum now, because obviously in his last season at PSV, he played as a 10, got Player of the Year, though Depay was top scorer that season. Since Koeman's been in charge of Holland, he's been Holland's top scorer.
Even Newcastle,
Newcastle got double figures. He got double figures. I remember he got a hat-trick against Norwich and whatnot. But for us, Klopp has him like 6 or 8. So it's like he wants to be so disciplined. Sometimes it just looks like he's going through the motion during games.
Yeah,
if we can unleash, because he got into Chelsea's penalty box a bag of times and I thought, this is the Jimmy I want to see. You know what I'm saying? But, so it's
he goes under the radar for his attacking ability.
Yeah, a lot of times because Liverpool fans slate him on Twitter and I don't understand it. But it's a bit early, Sebs, to say that, Defo going to retain it. I think Arsenal on the next Monday will tell a lot because they've beat us twice now. So obviously football's played in their head a lot as well.
Yeah.
Though we've had, especially the first time they beat us, we've had a lot of possession. If we can put Arsenal away, then I can be like, okay, you get what I'm saying. But if we have trouble with them, because with the high line, if the ball gets to an Aubameyang, whatever, Lacazette, it could cause problems. If we can put them away, then I can be like, okay, get a centre half in before the window. I'm like, we can actually retain this thing this season. But I'll be interested to see what Man City do against Wolves because Wolves Wolves let them have the ball and then just pump it to Traore to slide Jimenez in. I'm telling you, if Man City don't take their chances tomorrow, if Man City don't take their chances tomorrow, they're going to find out. Because these men are rested now. There's no Europe like last season. They're rested. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to see.
I hear that. One. Let me pose a question to all three of you, because this is what one of my brethren just said to me not too long ago on the WhatsApp, that he reckons that Frank will be sacked by Christmas. What's you lot's thoughts? Ash, what do you reckon?
No.
I
think that's too knee-jerk, man. That's
you know what? I mean, obviously in football, you just can never tell. But I don't know, man. It's a bit far-fetched to say. I think he'll get a bit of time considering all the new additions. But if the results ain't going their way, then you never know, man. You never know.
It's all about the results, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's all about the result. It's a mad one because if he wasn't a club legend, him being a club legend might give him the immunity he needs. Because if he didn't, I'd say that Roman's giving him the rope to hang himself with. Because they've spent. Obviously, it's not they've got this much P because they had the transfer embargo, but they're just buying. I'm thinking that is he really going to give him that long? Because some people think Chelsea could compete for the title.
Yeah.
But that's non-Chelsea fans. Actual Chelsea fans like, no, the squad's still young. As long as we can get to say maybe third, then I'm cool because let's be honest.
But what is Roman thinking when he's splashing out all this cash? Surely he's thinking title, right?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was thinking.
Roman's thinking title. Roman ain't thinking third. Roman's thinking title.
Chilwell, Ziyech, Werner, Havertz. They're about to get Mendy, the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And
they need the keeper.
Thiago Silva. And Zaha, innit? They got Zaha on the free, but I think they're going to loan him.
Loan him back out.
But that's six additions coming into the squad, and all of them are quality. Yeah. So you gotta be thinking title.
Yeah, you ain't doing that to finish third.
I think the hardest thing for them is going to be the 11. Who's going to be like the 11?
Because he doesn't know himself.
So many people. What's going to happen to what's his name? Odie on the wing.
Hudson is done. He's done out here.
Tammy ain't really going to get much minutes because you've got Giroud as well. Giroud is more favoured than Tammy.
Barkley's finished now. Barkley's Carabao Cup. Carabao Cup for Barkley, bro.
Carabao Cup.
Yeah. Carabao Cup Barkley. That's what we're going to have to call it. That's the only time we're seeing him,
Even man's like Jorginho, he ain't gonna really get minutes when the team's at full strength. They're not. Well,
you say that, but
he was captain today, isn't it?
Yeah, Chelsea man that I speak to say that Jorginho he's the heartbeat of the team. He's the starter.
Yeah. That's what my Chelsea.
I didn't think that, but that's what I'm being educated on.
Gilmore, he's tidy.
Yeah. He's a.
But we ain't seeing him no more.
Oh no, he's injured. Gilmore's injured, isn't he? He's got a long-term
injury. Yeah, Gilmore's injured. Yeah.
Oh, did he get a long-term injury? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, Mason Mount as well. He's another one that did well last year, and it's gonna be hard to get him.
Well, you see, Loftus-Cheek got played last week. He got a little audition. He didn't pass.
That was to try and get him out in the window.
It was a trial.
Man said it was a modelling audition for Loftus-Cheek.
It didn't go well, and so we ain't seeing Loftus again. We ain't seeing Loftus again.
But Pat, what exact position has Frank got? Flipping Mount in at the moment, buff. What?
I know that's the thing. That's because you would play Mount as a 10 or 8, wouldn't you? But then with all the quality they've got, can he really argue if he put Havertz there or Ziyech there? Or do you know what I mean? It's difficult, man. So
he's just a Lampard favourite, isn't he, Mount?
Yeah.
He really likes it. This was to incorporate him anywhere.
Yeah.
Anyway, man, let's move on. Let us know in the comments what your thoughts are about Frank and
Yeah.
Chelsea. Havertz, have they impressed you, the Havertz and the Werners of this world? And what do you think about Liverpool, man? Do they, they looked a little bit dodgy last week, but this week they looked quite comfortable and assured. So I have to give my hats off to them, man. They are the champions and they play like champions today. Let us know what you think about them in the comments section below. If we was to move on now to my club, Manchester United losing 3-1 at home to Crystal Palace in what was a dire
Yeah.
game to watch
I
as a Man
didn't
United
see
fan.
that coming. I didn't see that coming, bro.
Hey, Sebs, you don't have to do this if you don't want to, bro. We're here for you, homie.
Listening, I said, let me get it in now. I should have left it towards the end. Certain people
Well,
may
there's
not
no
have tuned
time
in.
in
Yeah.
it. There's no time.
But no, man. You know what? We need to have the difficult conversations. As a United fan, I'm ready for it. It's not been smooth sailing for me for the last 7 years. I'm used to this now. Do you know what I mean? But that was poor, man. Let me hear from neutrals, and then I'll come in and give you Ash. What did you see the game? What was your thoughts
Yeah, I
on
watched it, man. I just feel like whenever you've even got 2 out of the first 11 missing, it's a big problem. Like, even with Zaha had a wicked game, but I think if Wan-Bissaka's there, is he going to get as much joy in that game? I don't think so. James is dead. You miss Greenwood. I don't know why he didn't start. Was it just to do with all the issues going on? Or was it just a statement?
If I'm honest, I've even put a question out. Was it a thing where he's saying to the board, look, Daniel James isn't good enough? Or was it a thing that he's disciplining Greenwood because of what he did with England? It's got to be one of those two. It can't be that Greenwood was being rested. As somebody said, Daniel James played twice for Wales. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Greenwood only got 20 minutes for
No,
England, so
I
it
don't know
can't
if you
be a
heard.
resting thing.
I don't know if you heard Ole's comments before the game where he said that he was trying to protect Mason Greenwood and he told England not to select him. Obviously, England did. And then he basically made Mason messed up. And he's like, he's a young kid. We brought him through. He needed to be rested and protected. So I think Ole's just trying to prove his point that the kid's young. He needs time. Like, let me take him out of the spotlight kind of thing.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever.
Yeah.
Not what you're saying. If
I know,
Ollie
but
did say that, to me
yeah.
that makes no sense because this is a Premier League game that we need to get off on the right foot. You don't rest one of your best players. So
I don't know. Yeah, you just didn't seem like at it how you were after like lockdown. Do you know what I mean? Like you was blowing teams like Palace away 3-4s. It was a wrap. Like from
I thought they were going to get toasted. I picked them in my LMS, which is
that's why I bought in Martial.
Yeah, I know. I had Basaka in as well, but I don't know if you guys watched the game closely where Zaha got hit by Maguire and he was talking to him, like he was proper trash talking him, and then he got the ball, toasted him and scored. I was like, oh no, this guy's just taking the mick.
My centre back, my £80 million centre back. How are you gonna let a man? Like mans who have played football know if you can't get trash talked and then let man go and score past you, you got to substitute yourself. Substitute yourself, man. You know what I'm saying?
Especially with no fans and you can hear all the talk as well.
Yeah,
I know, literally. Now you can see it all. Zaha was proper going at him because I think, I think he left a bit on him. And then Zaha was proper trash talking him. And then obviously he got the ball, bish, bosh, bang. And it was 3-1. Bang, 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 bang.
Double D, what are you saying? Oh, sorry, you ain't finished, Pat.
No. Sorry, I was just like, and De Gea as well. Another mediocre game, man. Another mediocre game for De Gea, which is just... Yeah, I don't know, man.
Hendo's going to be our number one soon enough. I don't know how long it's going to be, but I reckon it is coming. It's definitely coming. Double D, what are you saying?
Ah, man. Where to start with this one? Palace, to be honest, Palace have got a decent record at Old Trafford in the last couple of seasons.
Yeah.
But I just thought, I've said to everyone, I was like, even did the prediction last year, I was like, with whether Greenwood starts or not, Martial, Rashford, etc. I just thought United were going to have too many goals this time around for Palace. But I've not, by Man City, I don't think I've seen a Premier League team have that many attempts at goal. By Man City at Old Trafford in a hot minute. And Palace just seemed comfortable in it. And even when they had the lead, it didn't seem like as though it was one of those smash and grab runs. They were actually passing the ball much better than they did last week when they played Southampton, but they looked quite comfortable. I was like, nah, I don't know what's going on here. But United, it could have been worse for United, to be honest. But that penalty was never a penalty, and it should never have been retaken. But I'm not sure United would have won any. I think probably they would have maybe got a draw if. Obviously, it was stood obviously with the save, but I'm not sure that they would have been able to win the game anyway, even without that. But it was a weird one. But maybe because the window's still open, it was better for United to get that defeat out of the system now, because that might make the board think, okay, no, we're not going to have this, and unfortunately, it might mean they fund the Sancho deal or something, or something like that. But he needs another centre back's needed.
100%.
As Ash was saying, if Zaha might have not been able to have had that same space if Wan-Bissaka was playing. I'm not sure what Fosu Mensah was doing on the first goal, but then even then Lindelof allowed the ball to be cut back, and you're just looking at it and you're thinking that, like, United had games where they actually looked last season like in control of things that they haven't in previous seasons. But yesterday it was like, I was thinking, you're playing Crystal Palace, like, I don't know when was the last time Palace even scored 3 away from home in a Premier League game.
Exactly. It's
I don't know, man.
It's disgusting, man. Like, I think we've been crying out for a centre back. Maguire and Lindelof doesn't work. We've got a problem in the sense that you've got people now, United fans and other fans, saying who's better at Maguire and Smalling. And before, but the thing is, you're laughing, and before I would have said this is ridiculous, but the reality of the situation is I can't really sit here and say Maguire is better than Smalling. You know what I'm saying? He's got an £80 million price tag on him, and he's Man United and England captain now. But Smalling as a defender was assured. He just was crap with the ball at his feet. But then Maguire thinks he's a ball-playing centre-back, but he's misplacing passes here. He's getting caught on the ball there. He gets dribbled past. Then you've got Luke Shaw. And when you watch the first goal, Luke Shaw, like Everett was saying, why are you jogging back? Sprint, spot the danger. You can see the whole picture. You know what I'm saying? It's pathetic. Lindelof, why are you not cutting the ball back? You know what somebody said to me today about Lindelof as well? They said he's soft like tissue paper. You know?
He's got all the tattoos. He probably looks like a hard nut, innit?
Personally,
when you see him play,
I'm telling you, Lindelof is not a rubbish defender. He's just not Premier League defender. I think if you put him in a Spain, I reckon he shines it. I reckon you could put him in a Real Madrid, Barcelona, one of those top Atletico Madrid, and he would do it.
There's a lot of them sorts, like Mustafi, them type of man. You know what I mean?
He can read the game well. He's just soft. He gets bullied all of the time. And why Wan-Bissaka wasn't playing again, I don't know. I don't know why. And we just looked like we were still in pre-season. We didn't look like we was out of it. I didn't like the fact that we was playing a week after anybody, after everybody as well. I didn't like that. And for me, not making excuses, but it was a bit of a disadvantage. You can see we were just sluggish, and Palace from minute one they pressed us.
We're on it,
yeah. And towards the back end of last season, actually, Southampton when we dropped points, and I can't remember the other team. That's what teams were doing. They were pressing us from the back. We were getting sloppy at the back, and they were getting joy. And that's what happened yesterday. But then we grew into the game. It was quite comfortable for us at one point. But we couldn't break them down. We created nothing yesterday, and the system didn't work. You know, I'm just hoping that we get this bad performance out of the way. Like you say, I wasn't too annoyed yesterday because I'm thinking, hopefully, the board this probably puts a little bit of urgency into them, whether it does or not. But I'm hoping you look at that and you can see Daniel James ain't ready. Championship player at best. Although certain men are saying, Double DKG saying that he would take him at Leeds, and he reckons that coaching wise that we're not coaching him, but he's not being coached to be better.
But Leeds, like, no disrespect, I know that Sky Sports keep pushing Leeds. Leeds are a championship team. They've been in a championship for the last 19, 20 years. They're like
16,
Daniel
16,
James,
don't do them like that.
16, 17, round it up, innit? It's not really like so Daniel James at Leeds makes a lot of sense, but he's not top 6, top 4 caliber at all. You know, like, and so I hear what you're saying. he doesn't deserve to wear a Man United shirt, man. He annoys me, man. He's like, even I'm not a Man United fan, obviously, in the slightest, but when I watch him, he just frustrates the living daylight out of me. So I mean, I wanted to swear, and also
pace. He's all pace, isn't it?
He's all pace. He just flatters to deceive.
That's it.
He's lucky he's not black, bruv. I'm telling you, man, the press would have a field day.
They would have found
pace and power.
You know, his biggest problem as well, though, is like he's got pace, but you don't know how to use it. Like, at least have pace and know how to use your pace. Yeah. He doesn't know how to use it. And if he ain't got space to even kick the ball and run, he don't do it. And it's just
because when he first landed at the start of last season, because he was on the left, he was cutting in and just bending them top corner. But then defenders started to take a step back. And then because they weren't giving him the space to attack, it was like, he's actually just literally kicking the ball forward and trying to run. So it was making it easier for the defenders. So, as you're saying, if he was being coached differently, if say, obviously Bielsa could do it because that's Pep's mentor, but Bielsa, Pep or whatever, and tell him to use it in bursts or make this run and they'll cut the ball back to you and whatnot. You know what I mean? So, we'll see.
But he can get there, man, because Traore used to be the same. Traore
and look at
exactly the same, and now look at him. It can happen. It can, So it just.
It's a good point there that you make there, Pat.
Like he's still young. He's still got time, but he does need to stop all this one-dimensional, whack it, run, and be greedy and take a shot, even though there's people in better positions. That kind of stuff is not on, man. Not at this level.
And then doing that.
The tongue out, running back like he's Jordan. You ain't Michael Jordan, bro.
The good thing, though, for you guys, Sebs, in terms of James, is that since Ferguson left, bar to an extent, Lukaku and Di Maria, you have not had a player that you've had that you could get any form of resale value of. You lot can easily get back the 15 million, maybe even more for James.
Yeah, true.
That's the only good thing about it.
I think you get 80 for Maguire, mate.
You could easily sell Dan James, the championship team, for 20-25 million now, easily.
Or Leeds. Apparently Leeds. I don't know how true that report is, but apparently Leeds are interested. So
they'd be better off getting our boy, getting Harry Wilson. Leeds.
Okay.
Alone, isn't it?
Because just like the set piece ability and whatnot.
Is Harry Wilson back with you guys, or is he still with Bournemouth?
He's back with us, but we're trying to
loan him out.
Well, you've got Jota now. It's out of the question.
Yeah, I like Harry Wilson, but the thing is, Klopp wants people that, apart from their main attributes, to do intangible things as well. So, though Brewster's a finisher, he wouldn't mind loaning Brewster out because he's not got the guy
extra,
the Manes and Salis and that. Jota plays like that. My only problem with Jota is that sometimes he can be so greedy. Days. There were times where he got put through by Neves or Matinho, and Jimenez is there, and he just runs and shoots. It's like, what?
And Jimenez is giving him that stare, like. Right then.
Jimenez cartel, baby. They're gonna put the hit out, but you're just gonna see on one card.
Trust me. Sebs, I was going to ask you something about Zaha.
Yeah.
Would you take him back?
Yeah, man. I was thinking this yesterday. Like, we're looking for a right winger. Yeah. And obviously everything is on Sancho at the moment. But Zaha personally would be as effective Zaha is. When we got him before, he wasn't quite ready, and there's all the other talks of, David Moyes' daughter. And,
Ollie ain't got no daughters, is he?
No.
You see how Evra hotted man up though? Oh my God!
Evra sat now. We ain't seeing Evra again. We ain't seeing Evra on Sky Sports again.
It's the worst. It's the worst kept secret, but you don't bring it out on Sky Sports like that in the middle of the day.
It's like he was talking in like a WhatsApp group, isn't it?
That's what I'm saying.
This is the problem with Everett. He's too real. He's too real. He's got no filter. He's not ready for mainstream. He can't do mainstream TV because
I love this game. I love this game.
Good
Oh,
one.
Nah,
shit.
you gotta chill, boy. You gotta
But
chill.
Zaha looks like he's staying at Palace now, and he's got the captain's armband on. So
Yeah.
I don't.
But
I
no.
don't.
But then Roy Hodgson come out the other day and goes, "Oh, I'm surprised that no Champions League team or no European teams come in for him." I was like, "Why did Roy Hodgson
Why
come
would
out
you
and
say
say
that?
that?"
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thing is,
like
Palace would
it's a
sell,
bit.
innit? If they give him the
Yeah,
right
yeah,
money,
100%,
they offered the right
100%.
money to Palace, they would
I
sell.
think,
And
But
I
usually
think
they're really
didn't
desperate.
Everton? Didn't I heard somebody say
Ev-
Everton offered 70 mil or something
It
last
was, it was
season?
Everton,
60 mil.
Everton
60
offered
mil.
them a, what was it, an 85
60
or
mil.
90 million package. They offered like
Yeah.
60 or
Yeah.
70.
60,
Don't
yeah.
surprise me.
Jake Tossan and
Yeah. But
McCarthy. But
because it was at the back end of the window,
yeah,
Crystal Palace, they
they've
didn't have
had
time
people
to
to buy.
react.
And they bought a
So
Wobie,
so
man.
they said, no, yeah, I know.
Yes.
But yeah, if
45
someone come in
mil.
for a proper bid, if someone
40
come
mil,
in for a
you know?
proper bid, I think they take it. But it's very strange that Roy Hodgson essentially put him in the shop window, saying, "Oh, I'm surprised that no one's come in for him." And obviously, we don't want it to happen, but we know Wolf's a quality player. And I was like,
Yeah.
Club
why
could be
would you put
sending him bars
Yeah,
to do that
yeah.
because
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
what,
yeah.
29 now, so he's got good value,
Nah,
right?
I know.
They got 70, 80 mil for him now.
Yeah.
That's
And they
good
just bought
business.
Eze as well, right? Where did
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
He's looking alright.
Eze's a baller, bruv.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've actually got quite a tidy front three. Like when I say front three, but they got interchangeable options now. Obviously,
Yeah.
you got Eze, you got Townsend, you got Zaha, and then you've
Townsend
got
on his day
back.
is still good, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. He can still
He
do
used
his
to be
thing.
England's baller, bruv. Do you remember
Yeah, I
the
know.
times
Yeah,
about
yeah.
you?
When he was saving England, he was
He was
the
like
golden
England's
child for
baller.
England. And then obviously they got Batshuayi as well. So
Yeah.
Palace on their day could be a tricky problem, boy. It could cause us a problem still.
They're
And the
always
break,
tricky for us
100%.
anyway. But we'll move on
Mm.
from Man United. Let us know in the comments, people, if this is just a blip. Do you think Man United can recover next week? It is only our game week 1. It's our first game, and as I said,
Exactly.
it is early days. So hopefully we can sort it out. But trust me, that was bad to watch, and it's not good, man. We can't have many more performances like that. So let us know what you think in the comments below. But let's move on now to Tottenham Hotspur. Tottenham Hotspur. Bale is back at the lane.
Mate.
Talk to us, Pat. Talk
What
to
a
us.
difference.
I'm
what a
surprised you ain't got a
difference
Bale poster behind you right now.
Now you're
I'm gonna
excited.
make it. All right, look. That's why I got a hat on. I'm growing the man bun for next week. I can just,
Behave yourself. Talk
Bale
to
needs
us,
to get
Pat.
that cut though, man. He needs to get that. But yeah, no, on the level, what a difference a week can make, man. Last week it was all doom and gloom.
Trust me.
We lost 1-0 to Everton, and they should have beat us by more. And everyone was just licking their wounds and down in the dumps.
Yeah,
Then we
Pat
get
was on the
Bale.
ropes all week, boy.
Yeah, I kept seeing that on Twitter. That I'm on the ropes. I was like, when have I ever been on the ropes?
Watch him now.
But anyway, that's for another time, innit? But yeah, Bale coming in is amazing. Like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I would have never saw that coming. Do you know what I mean? He's someone that we've always wanted home, but with the finances and Real Madrid and whatever, I just never saw it happening. So obviously, it picked up heat in the last week or so, and yeah, he's home now. Reguilon coming in is huge as well. That guy is a very, very good left
Sort of
back.
been overshadowed, innit, by
Yeah,
Bale.
I know.
Just,
That's it.
I ain't seen much of him.
Player. He's good, man. He's good.
He's a good player. He's a good player.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
took Reguilon. He took in the 80s. He took Marcelo's place in the 18-19 season, but then because they bought Mendy, they loaned him to Sofia. But yeah, that's why the deal took so long, because they put in a buyback clause, because they know how good he was to me.
Yeah, he was La Liga's left back of the year last year. So the guy's good, man. But obviously, because when I saw Man United were in for him and the deal was close, I was like, oh man, we've missed out. This guy's good. But then Man United said no to the buyback clause, which worked in our favour.
Yeah.
And so we got him in, which is pretty sick. And then obviously this week we then go and pump Southampton 5-2. So yeah, man.
So what did you think on a level?
Yeah,
what a segue.
I didn't see that game. So you see 5-2, but I'm hearing the first half was ropey. Like Southampton should have been clear, but then obviously 4 goals from Son, four assists and a goal from Kane. How did you? What was the game like from your perspective, Pat? And then I'll move on to the others, get their view.
It was choppy, innit? I mean, we scored first within like 3 minutes, and it was like basically in the lead up, Son was literally like a millimetre offside. It was a nice finish from Kane, so we should have been 1-0 up. Very controversial if it should have stood or not. Then they came into the game, they scored, and then we were kind of on the ropes, but they didn't take their chances. and then literally just before half-time, Kane played in Son, 1-1, we go in at half-time, and then second half was just a totally different game. They just got slaughtered. And this is the thing with the Premier League. Against the bigger teams, you've got to take your chances, man. Second half, I mean, and they were lucky. I mean, even though 5-2 is still a battering, it should have been 5-1. They got a very, very lenient penalty where the ball bounced up off. I think it was.
Yeah. We're going to talk about that later, Pat. We're going to move on.
But yeah, no, they got tucked, man. They got tucked in. Son and Kane just showed their quality in the second half, man. And yeah, it's good to see. It's good to see us showing some quality after last week. That's a good way to bounce back.
Double D, what about the Southampton defending? I heard it was atrocious in the second half.
This is the thing. Hassan, who gets compared to Klopp a lot in terms of the way he actually seems to press and the high line that they play. But once, as Pat's saying, Tottenham figured it out. This is the thing. This is why a lot of people try to disrespect Kane. I know it's because he's Tottenham and people don't like Tottenham, and say, even though he used to play a lot as a 10, didn't he, in his youth days, didn't he? But before obviously going up front, right? This guy can pass the ball. And once they realised with the highlight and he started putting the curve on the passes, right?
The finesse spin.
Son, no one weren't catching Son. He was running through and slowing it down. And there were no Southampton defenders still catching him. And they laid it in. I'm thinking, if any fast defender had been on the pitch, they would have come back and clapped him. And he's just measured the finishing on left and right foot. It was a clinic. It was a clinic in finishing, because if you actually look at the game, Tottenham deserved to win, but it wasn't a 5-2 game.
Yeah, 100%.
Never a 5-2 game. In the first half, Hugo Lloris was making saves like it was 5 years ago, bro. He made one from Shea Adams. When you see it from behind the goal, he tipped it over. I was like, wow. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, he made some decent stops. But this is the thing. On Dele, though he came off at half time, you saw within 5 minutes what he brings to that team. The pass that he played for the offside goal and just shapes the body and the movement, what he could do. But they're saying that, though he took him off, Lo Celso was just as good in the second half. It was his pass to Kane that made the second one for Son. Because this is the thing with Tottenham. If they get everybody fit, if they can play, he can have a lineup to have Lo Celso and Ndombele in the same team, Kane firing, Son firing. Eventually, Bale's going to come in for Lucas Moura. They're going to cause problems. It's the only way they can shoot themselves in the foot is defensively, if they continue with these silly errors defensively. Tottenham will beat themselves, otherwise Tottenham are gonna be decent. As long as Bale does not have these repeated injury problems, he's out as he is at the moment. But that was an impressive second half, because Southampton, since getting bumped by Leicester almost a year ago, have been much improved. Much improved. But shout out Danny Ings as well with defeat, because you see that first goal. This guy thinks he's Karim Benzema or something like that. And there was no angle for it. He trapped on his chest, cut, and then banged it. And I'm thinking, there was no angle for it. So I do not know. Somebody's telling this guy that he is the best player in the world, and he's feeling it.
And now trust me,
even
he's
his
got
first touch.
The confidence is just
that
immense.
first touch was mental. There was 2 defenders around him, and the way he controlled that. It was mad.
At home.
Ash, what do you reckon about Spurs going forward now? What do you reckon?
Yeah, they're a problem, man. I think, it just depends how Jose, is he going to restrict them? I don't know. That's the problem, innit? Because obviously an attacking manager would utilise Kane, Bale and Son just next level, wouldn't they? It's just, we don't know how they're going to all interact with each other. With the game, though, was mad. The first 40 minutes, did you see Jose's face? Bruv, man was going to get bollocked. Trust me. The team was going to get that. They were not at the races at all. And then come into at the end, and then, second half, that line was ridiculous. That high line.
So Ash, would you say it was more, because I heard somebody say it was a tactical change by Jose. Jose.
Yeah,
Not Jose.
Jose.
So Jose said apparently he recognized it and he tactically changed. Do you think it was more of a tactical change, or was it Southampton were just poor in the second half?
I don't know. I think the line was more apparent in the second half. There was almost times where, where you're not offside if you're in your own half.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
like certain
what the
man was
line
doing
was.
that. It was ridiculous. The line was, bro, it was stupid. But then,
They thought
like
they were Bayern Munich.
you were saying
They
about,
were-
bro, yeah,
it was
trust
mad.
me,
It was
they're
mad.
all like
It was
this.
mad.
Like,
Yeah, it was mad.
10
I
men
was
like
thinking,
this.
like, what are you doing? I'm like, you know, Harry Kane can spray the ball, and you're
This
still
is it.
pushing
This is
up
what I was
that
going to
high.
say to you.
It's mad.
I think it was more
It's
to do with Kane and Son on fire.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
the balls that Kane
just
wasn't
the
even
reading.
looking
I know.
where
it's
Son
mad.
was.
Yeah, he's just
No,
put
it's
it
just
into an
whipping it
area.
around.
Yeah, he just whipped it into an area.
Yeah.
Bro, it was ridiculous.
People have
And
got to
like,
start putting
Sonny was
respect
just
on
on
Kane's.
fire. Like,
Yeah. People got to put respect on Kane's name now, man. No other
The
striker.
passing, bro, world
is
class.
passing
He
like
can
that.
play.
World
Yeah,
class.
Yeah,
he
he
can
can.
play.
Kane's a baller, man. He's a
He's
baller.
going to drop back into centre mid, bro, when he's
Yeah,
34.
and just-
You know what I mean?
Do you remember when they played Arsenal in the League Cup a couple of seasons ago when he picked that move for Dele Alli? Man can ping it.
Boom. Yeah,
He can ping it,
Okay.
bro.
Seriously.
No, he's a baller, man. He's a baller. So let us know, people, in the comment section, man. Like right now, because as I said, what a difference a week can make. Like it was looking
100%,
doom and gloom for
100%.
Spurs, and then they've gone and got all these two signings that can really make their team better. They do already have quality. Let's not forget that in Lo Celso, in Ndombele, Son, Kane. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not, and Bergwijn as well. I think Bergwijn is a talent. I think
Bergwijn
he's a
came in
talent.
quietly in January. He's a good player.
I think he's a talent, man.
Yeah.
So, like you say, there's no excuses for Frank. There's no excuses for Jose now.
You know what, Sam? And I have to pull myself up because last week you said about us and where we're going to finish. And to be fair, like Jose doesn't have any excuses. That I still don't think that. It's a difficult one. Obviously, I see Man United this week, but it's only one game, and we all know things can change so quickly. But to be fair, Jose don't have any excuses. That team should be getting in the top 4. I know it's tight. I know there's 6 good teams.
And
Reguilon coming in. You got to be pushing for top 4, man. You have to be. It's tough. There's 6 good teams now. 6 quality teams.
Your front 3, and arguably up there. It's definitely a top front 3 without a shadow.
Yeah, 100%.
Double D, what's up? What you want to say?
What's going on with Troy Parrott, bruv? Doesn't he rate him or something?
No, you know what? That's
that
a tough
name,
one.
Parrott.
I know. I think Parrott is a young baller. He's a very good player, and I would have loved to have him still at Tottenham, but he's not going to play week in, week out. And he's going to do that at Millwall, isn't it? So
how old is he?
Yeah.
He's like 17, 18, isn't he?
He's 18.
18.
So he's
He's a young kid.
Yeah, but the guy can finish. He's a finisher.
Yeah.
So it's one of them ones, and it's like you want him around the first team, but if he's not going to play, then you might as well take a year out now and do it, as opposed to just sitting there and not play. So it's a difficult one.
Is he going to go on loan then? Is he?
Yeah, he's on loan.
He's on loan. Okay.
Yeah, he's in the Championship. So he's on loan.
And you've loaned out Oliver Skip as well, isn't it?
Yeah, Skippy was doing well last year. He got man of the match in his first game for Norwich. He's another one, very, very good young player, but again needs minutes. So it's difficult.
Pat, I have to ask you, man. This was one of the reasons why you're on this week. We need to get your thoughts on Daniel Levy, just for you to understand Double D and everybody.
You put me in a difficult position.
My hero now, isn't it?
You've asked me after our best week ever.
Yeah, he's a pea shoot. He's a pea shoot.
Pat has been very vocal.
You set me up with that one.
He's been very vocal about Levy out. Pat, what are you saying now? What are you saying about Daniel Levy?
I think that. I think because I've come on here and said that Levy's got no ambition. This club needs somebody that's going to come in and And
for those of you that are listening, he's sweating and he's moving his hat around.
I'm just trying to make sure what I say comes across properly because to be fair, I've slaughtered Levy in the past, and I think rightfully so. To be fair, because this team. 15, 16, 17, we were the best team, I think, in the Premier League. I know we didn't win anything, but if you looked at what we were doing...
Third in a two-horse race.
Yeah, that's it. I know, it's mad, isn't it? It's mad. But anyway... But to be fair, okay, all jokes aside, him bringing back Bale and bringing in that quality of a left-back and also bringing in Doherty and Højbjerg, they're all positions that I've been screaming out for us to actually fill. He's done it. If he can get a striker in, then I've got to say, you know what, Levy, you've done your thing. Do you know what I mean? So, we'll see how the window finishes. We're not quite there yet. I would still like a striker, and I still like a centre back because I'm still not sure of our. I think we've got good centre backs with someone else, but we still need a quality centre back to either play with.
Is Levy showing ambition now, though, Pat?
Yeah, 100%.
Would you still say you need a striker though? As in, like, I
yeah,
know you need cover for Kane,
yeah,
but like,
yeah,
as in,
yeah.
because you've
Your
got
your
Bergwijn,
fixture list,
Bale,
your
Son,
fixture
and,
list
like,
is
Son
mad.
can go up through the middle, isn't it?
No, Ash, we do, because if Kane gets injured, we're back to square one again. I know it looks good now because we've got people, but you got to look at it's a long season, man. And if you look at all the bigger teams or the better, they've got options. And
for real.
We're starting to have those options. Like you've got good wing players. You've got.
You could have got Wilson, innit? Do you reckon Wilson would have been all right?
A lot of Tottenham fans wanted.
Yeah, I wanted Wilson. Wilson. I mean,
he's because he would have played second fiddle, wouldn't he?
Exactly, that's it. And he's not a marquee signing, but you know what you're going to get with him. He give you that extra 10 goals a season. He's relatively.
It's like Llorente was, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah, he knows the Prem. Yeah. So yeah, we need somebody. We do need a striker. That definitely needs to be addressed.
Some people are calling Josh King as well.
Yeah, I'll take him. I'll take him. I'll take him.
Man, you was in 3 minutes, Sims.
Yeah, that's what I was hearing. That's what I was hearing.
He used to be at Man U, didn't he?
Yeah, Norwegian player come through their youth academy. He's a good player, man. He's a good player. I like him.
One more question, mate. Just quickly. What do you think of watching the documentary? What's your opinion on Levy? Like, is it the same, or did you kind of look at him the way he kind of runs things? I thought in the documentary he kind of knew how the fans felt about him, so he was trying to play up to that. Like, people give me a hard time and this and that. I'm like, this is your job, man. Do your job, innit? Because like, this is no shade to Levy, but I kind of am throwing shade on him. If you look at like Leicester and if you look at Wolverhampton, these guys bring in quality signings every year, every other year. And I don't know who their director is, innit? They just do their job and do it. Do you know what I mean? In the background where they're meant to be. For some reason, Daniel Levy's at the forefront of every negotiation and everything. But do your job, innit? Do your job. I don't want to know about the Skywalk. I don't want to know about NFL games. I don't want to know about Lady Gaga. Just do your fucking job. Do you know what I mean? Lady Gaga.
All right, we got it.
Yeah.
Pat still, as you can hear, people, Pat still has a little bit of animosity towards Daniel Levy, but you know, it's just a touch. But Daniel Levy's on the right track with him to redeeming 100%. And rectifying that relationship. So let us know, people, what you're thinking about Spurs and how their season can be going forward, man. With Jose in charge of these new stars, can he get the best out of them? With what they have, they should not be finishing any less than top 4, in my opinion, and also bringing home that glory trophy that they're all seeking. So let us know what you think, people, in the comments. Leave it and let us know. Just moving on to just quickly, man, what are your thoughts on how James Rodriguez has settled into Premier League life? Because, you know, I've been vocal in calling him, you know, saying that he's going to have a flop, that ain't done name brand things, and saying he's going to have a flop season. And you know what? Look, as I said to somebody, one thing about me is I do not mind being proved wrong. I'm not going to come up here and be all bossy and go on like I'm right all of the time. I have my opinion on things. I'm usually quite strong and bossy on my opinions. If I'm proved wrong, I'm proved wrong. And he settled in quite well. I've now brought him into my FPL team. He got me 2 points.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? Look, I'm not blind. I see the way he was, and I'm thinking for Everton, the way things are moving, most of the stuff is gonna go through him. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
But yeah, what are you guys' thoughts? If I was to start with you, Ash, what your thoughts are on James Rodriguez and how he settled in?
Well, he's a big. He was at Monaco, wasn't it? So then he's big fish there, and then that's how he got his move to Madrid. And then I don't know, when he's obviously surrounded by, where it's not always going through him. Do you see what I mean? Then it's a bit different. So now, like you say, at Everton, everything's going to go through him, bruv. Like set pieces, the lot. So it's obviously the Prem is a different ball game to the Spanish league and German league. So it looks like he's acclimatized to it quite well there, man. Like straight away. And I think I heard he hadn't played a competitive game for like 9 months or something. So like literally jump in how he has. And like obviously I think it's helped with the guys around him. Decore's obviously like he plays in the Prem, he knows the Prem. Alan is just he's tidy in it. Everyone knows about Alan from Italy. So yeah, I think he'll do well, man. I think he'll do well.
Cool. Double D, what you saying?
What I liked about sorry Pat his performance against Tottenham was that every time he passed the ball, every time he passed it, right, he moved again to receive it again. And obviously it's easier to come into a new league because obviously Ancelotti was the one who brought him to Madrid, and then obviously had him at Bayern Munich as well.
Yeah.
So it's easy to take instructions because he knows what he expects of him. Straight after the game, he was going and talking to him and hugging him and whatnot. But Alan is just come like a duck to water. And there's just an understanding there. I'm very surprised Decore's ended up at Everton because if you look at what he's done season by season for Watford, like, I know the likes of Paris Saint-Germain, etc., have been interested, but Everton are actually entertaining to watch now. And being a Liverpool fan, I don't like saying that. I don't like hearing myself saying that. But Calvert-Lewin's doing his thing. He's sipping the same stuff that Danny Ings has been sipping in the last year, scoring goals. And he's some of the headers of what he's scored. But yeah, Hammers he's just a class above him. Diagana and Mateus Pereira yesterday. It was just I thought I was watching a Liga game. I was like, I'm not used to seeing this much skill on the pitch in the Premier League.
I know. In that kind of game, it was good to see, man. It was good to see, and I think it's kind of like we're all watching James Rodriguez like, wow, we all kind of slept on this guy, innit? Like we all. But then also as well, I would just want to put a disclaimer out. He's played 2 games against 2 bad teams. And when I say bad teams, our performance was shambolic on the first day of the season. We were awful. We gave everyone so much time and space on the ball that everyone could have looked good. Space. And obviously, West Brom are not good. They've definitely probably gone down first and foremost. I think they're going to be rock bottom, do you know what I mean, by Christmas. They just don't look like they got that quality in there. So we've kind of got to just be a bit more cautious on him. I think he's a very good player, but he's played 2 very easy games in a sense.
So
that's what I would say is because that's what's been noticeable is every time he's done something, he's had time and space on the ball. And that's not something you necessarily get a lot of in the Premier League. Like he's got time to pick the ball up, pick the pass on the left. As you say, he moves again, receives it again. He's still got space. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, Everton for me, me and Pat always call them the pretenders anyway. You know, they do this, they buy players. They flatter to deceive.
They look good for a minute, and then they just
this is the season it then clicks for them because they've got a world-class manager in now, and that might be what is needed. And then now they've brought in, as you see, James, Decore, Alan. That's a tidy midfield there.
Yeah, they brought in quality.
And Richarlison for me is always a nearly man, but he will still give you the work rate and he can create. Calvert-Lewin for some reason just keeps scoring goals, even if it's off his back when he's trying to header the ball. It don't matter off his knee, however it is, he will score goals. So he's definitely sipping something, you know that.
He's going to get chances in that team, isn't he?
I would just say proceed with caution because we made everyone look good last week. Like Calvert-Lewin looked like Harry Kane. James Rodriguez looked like, I don't know, a young Ronaldo. We just made everyone look good. So
I think Everton as well this season, like every other year, you know, when they get like the Iwobies, it's like the players no one wants. Do you know what I mean? This season, they've kind of obviously got Decore. Rodriguez taking a punt on him. I think it's a bit different. Even Moise Keane as well. Like I don't know if they've done their research on him properly. Like he ain't really had a fair crack. But
he doesn't look anything special to me. And for what I've seen of him when playing in Italy, either. He didn't look anything special, but
because Pat's right 100% about in terms of the opposition. Tottenham started very well against Everton last week. Son was on it with pinning balls, turning shooting, but then after that first half hour, they kind of fizzled out. But you're right. Obviously, James has played 2 welcoming oppositions in his opening game. But what he's doing smartly as well. And what's helped him is that when he's passing it, he's kind of shaping the ball. So then he's playing it, and then he's moving. He's almost moving as soon as he's played it. So that will ease him in. So when as you're saying, when he plays better opposition that are going to press him, if he's still doing that, then we know that he's going to last for the season. Because though he started brilliantly, he could easily still be a flop because there's 36 games to go.
Exactly.
he's taken a hard rep because a lot of people just label him as being that guy who scored that goal in the World Cup, but he did okay in the loan at Bayern. And even before that, Madrid's league win in the 16-17 season, he was pivotal because Cristiano was rested a lot for the Champions League game. So Morata was banging in goals, Racing stole Isco, but James was just orchestrating the whole thing. So if he can get back to that form, he's just going to be a joy to watch week in, week out. But Sem's, you're smart because you allowed yourself to be wrong by backing it and putting him in your fantasy team. So you're sitting there.
It's a win-win, isn't it?
It's a win-win. It's a win-win.
Yeah,
Man's sitting there. If he doesn't do job, he'll be like, I told you so. When he does, he's sitting there. It's like, I told you. He's in my team. I was fooling y'all.
Oh, man. Why are you going to do me like that, Double D, man? You're baiting me up, man. You're baiting me up out here, man. Jesus.
Smart man.
No, you know what it was? I was looking at the price of him and I was thinking, you know what? I see that left foot and the way he put the ball on for Calvert-Lewin, I think it was a header towards the back post against Spurs.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, man might get a few assists, you know. So yeah, let me fling him in. But you know what? Everton for me is still the nearly team, so I can see them having more bad games than good. So we're just gonna have to wait and see. Yeah. But let us know, people, in the comments. James Rodriguez, what do you think? Is he gonna be quality? Most people on Twitter that I'm seeing are rating the kid. So yeah, man, let us know what you think. We're gonna quickly move on to Arsenal. Ash, what do you think about Arsenal's start? Obviously 6-6 now. I'm hearing, I didn't get to see the game yesterday. What happened is that I watched the 12 o'clock game, I watched the 3 o'clock game, I watched the 5:30 game with United, and then by the time Arsenal came, and after that United result, I was footballed out. I was deflated. I said, I can't, and then I watched the film with the wife, man.
Yeah, he said hello to me today.
Yeah.
He said hello to me.
And I said, you know what? Let me sit and watch a film with my wife, man. And I had to put Arsenal to one side.
She was like, "Oh, so you remember I'm here, yeah?" Oh, cool. Thanks.
Trust me. But Ash, what was the performance like? How are you rating your start?
Mediocre, bruv. To be fair, we weren't the best at all. West Ham done all right. They done well on the counter. It was nothing like the Fulham game. We didn't really create much at all, to be honest with you, and really fortunate to get the win. But yeah, just some pluses was probably Gabriel. He played well again. Obviously, again, it's 2 games, but he looks he looks up for it. He looks strong. Yeah. I don't know, it's 2 games, isn't it? So I'm not counting my chickens, but it's in terms of
if you're going on what we're seeing at the moment, we can react to what we can see at the moment.
Exactly. And it's like as Arsenal fans, when you're looking at our defence, whoever's playing centre half, you're always like, anytime Mustafi's going to make a mistake, Luiz is going to make a mistake, Holding still, problematic. So the fact is, he's looked solid 2 games. We go on that. Hopefully, he's gonna. And obviously, we need to see this other guy, Saliba, how he comes in. Please, we've got so many options up top, though. I don't know how he's gonna, in terms of when Martinelli comes back, Reece Nelson's there, Saka's there. Yeah. I'd like to see some of these players. Now Pepe, he's out because Willian's in, so juggling all of that, I don't know. Eddie, Nikita as well. It's there's a lot. So
where does it go for Pepe now? Because obviously Pepe was bought in for big money.
Yeah,
he had, he gets bantered a lot, but numbers wise, he had a decent season last year.
Yeah, he ended up right, didn't he?
He did in the end.
I think it's the fee, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
But then Willian's just come in and just starting, and Pepe.
Yeah. And I would start Willian because to me, Willian was probably Chelsea's best player last season, even other than Pulisic when he was
towards
fit.
the end.
When he was
towards the end, he was ridiculous. But Willian's just solid. You know what you're going to get with him? 8 out of 10 every week. And he's going to fit Arteta's style as well. So, Arteta knew what he was doing with that signing. And then, if Lacazette obviously continues to score, because I think what he will do is, the only way Pepe gets back in is if Lacazette stops scoring, then Aubameyang will go central again.
Yeah.
And then Pepe will go to another wing. but then he fancies Eddie Nketiah as well. Like he's
Yeah.
been starting as well,
Yeah.
and obviously he banged in 6 in 3 games or something for the under-21s recently. So yeah, he's a problem as well. So yeah, it's looking good. And I like Danny Salibos in the midfield. I'm pleased we retained him for another year. But yeah, with like this, is what I don't really get. If we
you kind of look like him still, you know. Ash looks like him, right?
Danny, that's what I like him. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Same hairstyle, same complexion.
Spanish look in it. You know what I mean? Yeah, no, I don't know where we would fit in Partey and what's his name? Who's the other guy?
Yeah, however you say it. Yeah.
Like what happens to Xhaka? Because Xhaka has actually played well since Arteta's come in. Xhaka's played well, and like I say, he's retained Danny for a year. So I don't really know how we fit all these players in. Like they are an upgrade, but
as well.
The way he was talking was that because obviously he's played with him and he knows that he's a consummate professional, he's going to give El Nene minutes this season.
Yeah, El Nene,
Did El Nene start again yesterday?
No, he changed up.
Okay.
I think he might do it away from home. It will start El Nene.
More games,
it's more thing, but to unlock teams, Danny's the guy. I think.
But yeah, Arsenal were quite lucky yesterday, though, man. I think West Ham were the better team in the second half.
I agree.
West Ham should have just took their chances, and then there was just one moment of quality. Ceballos got in, whipped it across to Eddie, 2-1, game over.
Yeah.
So West Ham had chances, but they just didn't take them. And again, at this level, you get punished, man. The better teams will pick you up sooner or later.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Because second half, West Ham had that.
West Ham were all over them.
Possession.
All over them.
Right, what annoyed me about Arsenal is they weren't sending anyone to deal with Gerard Bowen. Bowen was just getting the ball and beating people. I thought, what they were treating man like I don't even know what they
their left back. What's his name? Masaku. What's his name?
Masaku.
Masaku. He was doing bits as well.
Yeah.
And Soychek had a few attempts.
He's in my FPL team. I was trying to.
Everyone's got him.
I was trying to use my telekinetic powers to make him score.
I can't believe he didn't get that header where he literally ducked down. The ball was on the plate for him, and he ducked down underneath it. West Ham should they should feel hard done by. They should have definitely got something out.
They're the type of games we lose, man. Every other year. That's why I think
that's why. Yes, that's what I was going to say.
Do you know what I mean? Even when we were leading against Liverpool, City, Chelsea. Like he's now shaping our teams defensively well.
The discipline.
Wenger, and Emery, that guy, that even could even speak English like he's.
But you know what? This is a good segue on actually from that. Let us know, people, what your thoughts are on Arsenal and how you think they're going to fare this season. But it's a good segue on because I heard that West Ham should have had a penalty because of a handball that happened in the box. Now, from what I understand, in normal terms, it's not a handball. Just like what happened to Doherty today. We're recording this. This is after the Spurs and the Liverpool games. That shouldn't have been a penalty, and also the Lindelof one shouldn't have been a penalty. But why was this one not given? Double D. What do you think?
I don't. This is the problem. Obviously, it goes by because obviously it's different referees making it, and then there's different video assistant referees as well. But the way how harshly these handballs have been given, basically since they came back after the pandemic, you would have thought that it would have been given because it's not intentional, but just they've basically just been going them with anything that hits your arm in the box. The one with us last week against Leeds.
Yeah, Cook, right?
Yeah.
The pace, the pace,
his knee.
The pace that the shot came in from Salah, his knee, and then but that one was going in though, so I understand because they're saying he's stopping a goal scoring. But it wasn't intentional. It wasn't intentional. So if it wasn't given, I wouldn't have had a problem with it. You would have thought because Gabriel's gone like that, and then he struck.
Yeah, it hit his arm. It didn't hit his head. It hit his arm.
It hit his head. It just hit his arm straight.
Exactly. So that's the cleanest one out of all of them, to be fair.
Yeah, exactly.
They're applying the rule. You know the striker rule, where if you just hit your arm, they disallow the goal. They're applying that to defenders now.
Yeah.
If it just hits your arm, regardless if it's intentional,
Yeah, because Doherty's one hit. I think it hit Harry Winks or
Winks
someone.
hit,
Yes,
hit
and then
Winks,
it's
and then
hit.
bobbled
It
up.
ricocheted onto his arm. There's no way he couldn't have done nothing about it. He
His
was
hand,
like,
his hand wasn't even in an unnatural position. It wasn't
Exactly.
even in an unnatural position.
I know.
Give him the
yeah, it was
penalty. What is
natural.
that?
And he's like, how you giving that
Lindelof
a
was only
penalty?
unnatural because he was running, wasn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it was natural if you think
'Cause he's
about when the
running,
man
yeah,
is
that's
running.
what I'm saying.
Like,
Yeah.
he literally did. It was this.
natural.
Yeah.
It was this.
Mate,
You know
none
what
of
I
them
mean?
should
And
have
they're
been
going
given.
to see it on the monitors now. That's the
I
worst
know.
thing.
And you
They're
know what's
using the
deep,
monitors
yeah?
now.
Is AU is the one who shot the ball and it hit Lindelof's hand. He didn't even appeal.
He didn't even appeal.
He didn't even appeal. He just carried on running on
Yeah.
with the game. He did not even appeal. Nobody thought it was and then next week, VAR. And then
Yeah.
but I heard that in the West Ham and Arsenal game, they didn't even go to the monitor. It didn't even get to that.
No.
I don't
It just
know.
doesn't
You know
make
the way
there's
they
no
replay it
consistency.
100 times now as well. You know when you're watching it, what they're watching.
And you know
Why
what?
are
The
you
bench
watching
the
it?
bench can
How have
see
you
as
not
well. You know.
clocked it by now.
You know the bench have got the
50th
little
time,
monitor
you should
there,
know.
and they're
Yeah,
watching
yeah,
as well.
yeah.
So I
Man,
don't know, man. As I said, for me, the issue isn't VAR; it's the rules.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
by the letter of these new laws,
Yeah.
they had to give these handballs. But then you have to wonder what VAR and the officials were doing for the West Ham one as to why
Exactly.
that wasn't then
Yeah.
given.
Just quickly, it's the new rule then. If it just hits your arm, what from here, isn't it? Like
Yeah,
here,
and anything
downwards,
under
then
the
it's a
shirt
pen,
sleeve. Yeah,
regardless.
it's a pen. Yeah,
Yeah.
They're
That's
saying shirt
it.
sleeve.
Not
Yeah,
intentional or
100%.
anything.
Very
100%. No matter what it
Very
is,
simple.
handball is a handball.
Yeah, because the
That's
crap,
Doherty one was definitely
It's
not
rubbish.
intentional,
No.
and
Yeah.
the Lindelof one, if you had the
Wasn't.
brain, you would say it wasn't
Yeah,
intentional
yeah,
either.
exactly,
Although
yeah.
you could, that one could be argued, but I think you could see it weren't intentional. Man weren't looking at the ball; he was just running.
Yeah.
But
There's
and
gonna
then
be so many then this
they
season.
gave them penalties, man.
There's going to be
So
so
many.
many.
And you know the other thing as well, Ash, is these are happening in close proximity. You know, before when you used to say when it happens so close, you used to always say,
Yes.
no, that's not going to
Can't
be
do
given.
anything.
Yeah,
And
like,
it
he
was
can't
never
react,
given. He
can't do
can't.
nothing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are happening in close proximity,
proximity,
like,
yeah.
and it's being given. So
Mad.
I don't know, man.
Mad.
These decisions for generally, it's actually got things right. What it is though is that the ones that we as football people, because this is a problem with the rules will change, it seems, by people who didn't actually play football, which is why we're at a high level, which is why we're getting these now. They've generally got it right, but it's the ones that they get wrong are so bad. They're giving offsides for people's toe being offside. Last season we played Villa, they gave it offside. They said Firmino's armpit was offside. When we played
I remember that one.
Suarez got done for his teeth a couple of times as well.
Yeah, that is absolute madness. What's going on with the handballs towards the back end of the obviously to go to a different league in Serie A. Juventus played the game against Atalanta and they got 2 penalties given for handball. And they were like these ones that have been going on in the Premier. It was like, how? Yes, he's hit their hand, but it's not intentional. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then Juventus went on to and won the league. But it's so like so VAR's generally done well, but there needs to be consistency. Use the monitors more. With all the money that the Premier League has, they should have been the first league with it. We've had it in like places like Australia for like 4 years. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then the MLS and whatnot, they should have had it from ages ago. So all these teething problems we would have already gone through this because you're affecting people's season. Think about Bournemouth might have stayed up if it wasn't for that, because that Aston Villa goal against Sheffield United goal.
Is that when the technology didn't work though with the ball?
That was when it didn't work.
Yeah, the technology didn't work. Like, what,
The whole ball was over the line. Even the keeper was like, raw.
The ref saw that.
The goal line technology didn't work, so they should have put something in the rules that allows them to still overrule it and give the goal. It was like 2 yards in the goal.
Yeah.
But you know what? The other thing I want to touch on as well, which is what happens is these rules will probably change in a few weeks, you know, this handball rule. And but then is that fair? Because then you've got a few teams that's been penalised in the beginning and then you go and change the rules because that can't run.
Then you can't say, oh yeah, it evens itself out over the season because you just been done.
Exactly, yeah. It's crazy. Do you remember when they had that thing where literally any touch in the box was a foul? Like literally if you just put your hand
they
on
did that
someone.
last season.
And then,
It didn't last though.
Exactly, it doesn't last. So
even
you're
this
right.
keeper, coming off the line thing.
Yeah.
Like De Gea got penalised yesterday.
Ridiculous.
But
bad, man.
how many times did that happen last season? I've seen in games where there's keepers are coming off the line bare times.
All the time.
You know what I'm saying? And they're not
that
fit.
VAR guy had a bet with like saying they needed Palace to score that.
Another one they keep another one they keep playing with is the one when a man gets fouled those in the box. They're saying because he's going away from the goal that it's not necessarily a penalty. Yeah. That's when they keep on playing with it down the years. I've seen men get taken out by keepers or taken out by players and like, he never had control of the ball. Away from goal.
That nonsense. Yeah. It
doesn't matter whether you got control.
Regardless of whether you got control of the ball or not.
And you know what else? That's a foul, isn't it? Anywhere else,
and you know what, Dan?
Right?
That one today was, for me, definitely a red card on the Christensen one.
Yeah, 100%.
Because Mane is taking that round.
The keeper because of his pace. But fam, what?
VAR was good in that one because you got to see all the angles from where, and you think, he would have got that ball.
Yeah, man went Roman Reigns on him. Yeah,
I know. Christensen was doing some wrestling. Wrestling tackle.
That pass from Henderson. Exactly. If it was played by someone that's not Henderson,
replayed every day. Trust me.
It was just.
It was Trent.
Imagine De Bruyne played that ball. Man just flicked it over the top.
That was a ball.
That ball was sexy. I ain't gonna lie. When you watch it from the behind view and you just see the ball just do the little thing and right in his path, you know.
Yeah,
he played the ball like that. For your boy, he played the ball like that. In the World Cup, in the World Cup, against Sweden for Dele Alli, but he couldn't score. Get me? He's got that in the locker.
No, the way a pass on that was mental. Like literally,
can I ask that quickly?
Yeah.
Just remind you, Dele Alli to PSG. I'm hearing.
Is
that true?
Yeah. Well, allegedly they've inquired about him, so we'll see.
And what are you thinking? Would you want him to stay?
No, I want him to stay, man. We need players. I think he's a player. I know he's not had a good couple of years, but he is a player. The thing you don't want to do is you don't want to bring players in and you end up losing a good player like Dele. Do you know what I mean? So no, I don't want to.
You surprised that PSG are after him though?
No,
after the last couple of years.
I do think that there's a good player in there. And obviously sometimes it just takes a new environment, a new coach, new players. But I don't want to lose him, man. I don't want to lose him. He's a good player. But he needs to pull his socks up. He needs to figure himself out, man. He's not been at it. Hence why he's been dropped.
Well, I've again been on record and I've said Dele Alli will end up like Jesse Lingard. Dele Alli is not good enough. And his cards are marked. He is not going to make it in this Spurs team now with Jose in charge. From the moment Jose called him a lazy trainer and he just laughed, you know what I mean? He's done. Yeah. Like he just smiled and he's going to continue being the same way. Like he's done there now. Trust me. Jose is not going to play him. I'm telling you, mark my words on that one. I've seen it before. Yeah. He's finished now at Spurs while Jose's in charge. So you might as well get rid of him, Pat. Get some money.
I don't want to get rid of him, man. But yeah, the thing is, it's up to Dele, isn't it?
I just don't think he's a Jose player. Like he's quite a luxury player, Dele. Like every time I see him, he tries a nutmeg like every other day. He's quite, you know what I mean? He's like that sort of player. And I don't really think.
He's got the ability, but he just needs to apply himself. And if he's not going to, then unfortunately...
On his day, bruv, the goal he scored against Man U, that goal when he took it out the sky.
Boom. Right, even that goal against you guys in the cup last year or the year before.
Why are you bringing that up?
The Chelsea two headers. The guy's a player.
The one at the bridge as well when he plucked it out of the air from Eric's
Palace goal.
Palace goal. The guy's a player, man. He's got it, but I
just think his attitude. Is he 24 now?
Yeah, he's 24 now. So it's time.
Come on, he's been on the scene for about 6 years. I don't know.
Yeah.
Lingard scored a goal once when he ran from his own half, you know.
I remember that one as well.
I'm just saying.
That was a bad boy goal. Even with me, bro.
That was Simpson's way of saying a broken clock is right 2 times a day. That was what Simpson was just supposed to say.
That's causing J Bins, not even J Lings. J Bins.
Messi Lingard, bro.
Bins.
Messi Lingard.
Messi, oh no. Anyway, man, we'll move on now. Well, not even move on, man. This is the end of the show, people. Thank you very much. For those of you that are still with us, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Let us know in the comments what your thoughts on Dele Alli is. Let us know your thoughts on the VAR. But you know what? I've really enjoyed today, man. I hope you guys have enjoyed it as well. Please let them know where they can find you, please. Dan, Double D, let them know.
First of all, thank you very much for having me on. I've thoroughly enjoyed this. I told you that I wouldn't do, if Liverpool lost to Chelsea. I told you I wouldn't do it because I'll be in too much of a bad mood. But no, thanks for having me, man. It's been brilliant. You can get me on Twitter, Insta, whatever at Double D. That's DUBULDEE, and I'm part of the D&D Football Factory, who do a show called The Footy on Top Show on Top FM, 95.5 FM in London. Probably best to listen to that on the TuneIn app. Saturday mornings, 10 a.m. And our on Twitter is at DD40Factory_.
Wicked. And as I said, I'll put that in the description link, people. So you go and check him out, man. Ash, where can they find you as well, please?
Bro, I don't even know my thing, man. You know, he's posted on the screen. You know, you can do that.
I'll put it on the screen.
But yeah, no, thanks for having me on. Thanks for having me on, man. Appreciate it. And a laugh, bro. Trust me.
Yeah, no,
it's been a long time coming.
It's been fun, man. Like, just for those of you that are new, Ash used to do a little segment where he just did a little review on games, and it was called Views from Booze, and it was just like a little comedy sort of sketch joke thing. So
look to do something soon, still.
Yeah, man. So yeah, you can go on my YouTube, and you'll see in the earlier that he's got a few episodes on there. So check them out. There were a few funny ones, and his Twitter is at Ashley_Boodhun. That's what his Twitter is. I'll put it in.
Look at Seb's the professional. Man was like, I've got it here anyway.
Yeah, that's what it is, man. That's what it is. Don't worry, I'm not that good, man. It's called a mobile phone. Pat, and where can they find you, my guy?
Yeah, on Twitter and Instagram, Patrick, spelled the normal way, Tyrant, Tyrant, all one word, Patrick Tyrant.
Wicked. And I am Semps. I'm your host, and these were my co-hosts. I'm a pundit. These are my pundits. Everyone's a pundit, and we are out. Until the next time. Big up.
Bless people. See you later.